Hello everyone. I welcome all the learners to YuktMind's unique initiative 10 minutes and newspaper done. This video is discussion of the Hindu of 12th June. We have selected 10 UPSC relevant articles and have also provided the static content related to the current event. You can download the PDF of the discussion from our Telegram channel or website Delhi Current Affairs tab. First news, a celt belonging to the Neolithic period was discovered in Puthinatham village in Dharmapuri district, Tamil Nadu. It was a significant discovery as the celt was used either as a plow or an axe and was made of dolorate stone. Now, what is Neolithic age? The term Neolithic period refers to the last stage of the Stone Age. We should know about the time scales of the Stone Age. So, first and the oldest Stone Age was Paleolithic, which existed from 5 lakh BCE to 10,000 BCE. Second was Mesolithic period, which existed from 10,000 BCE to 6,000 BCE. Third and the last was Neolithic age, which is 6,000 BCE to 1000 BCE. Now the fourth was Chalcolithic age, which is mix of copper and stone, existed from 3000 BCE to 500 BCE. Now it is to be noted that Neolithic age and Chalcolithic age coexisted at different places at the same time. The idea of Neolithic revolution refers to the origin of agriculture, animal domestication and a settled way of life. That means it did not exist in Mesolithic or Paleolithic period. It indicates the transformation of society from a food gathering, that is hunting gathering economy, to a food producing, that is agro-pastoral economy. The people of the Neolithic age lived in rectangular or circular houses which were made of mud and reed. The people of Mehergarh lived in mud brick houses, while pit dwelling is reported from Burza home, the Neolithic site found in Kashmir. Pottery first appeared in this Neolithic age because of agriculture and surplus grains to be stored. The Neolithic age is significant for its megalithic architecture, especially found in South India. You should also note few important sites of Neolithic age like Mehergarh, as mentioned in Pakistan, Burza home in Kashmir, Chirand on the bank of river Ghagra, Daujali Hading in northeast India, Payampalli in Tamil Nadu, etc. You can find these extra details in the PDF provided in our Telegram channel. Second news, when Palakkad paid musical tributes to three Carnatic legends. Now, Carnatic music comes under the topic of Indian culture that covers the salient aspects of art forms under GS Paper 1. When Mridanga maestro Palghat Mani Iyer was celebrated on his 111th birth anniversary, two of his friends and contemporary vocalists were also celebrated on their birth centenary. About Carnatic music owes its name to the Sanskrit term Karnataka Sangitam, which denotes traditional or codified music. Composed of a system of ragam and thalam, tal, it has a rich history and tradition. Some of the important Carnatic music compositions are Geetam, Suladi, Swarjati, Jati Swaram, Varnam, Kritanam, Kriti, Pad, Javali, Pallavi, Tilana, Tanam. Carnatic Sangeet has developed in the South Indian states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra and Karnataka. These states are known for their strong presentation of Dravidian culture. Purandar Das, 1484 to 1564, that is medieval period, a prolific poet, composer and mystic of Vijayanagar Empire, is considered to be the father of Carnatic music. Now, Vijayanagar Empire is the favorite topic for UPSC question setters in both prelims and mains. Purandar Das was a Haridas philosopher and a follower of Madhavacharya's Dvaita philosophy. His Carnatic music compositions are mostly in Kannada, though some are in Sanskrit as well. You can find the extra details in the PDF provided in our Telegram channel. Venkata Makhi is regarded as the grand theorist of Carnatic music. In the 17th century AD, he developed Melakarta, the system for classifying South Indian ragas. There are 72 Melakartas at present. Tyagaraja, 1767 to 1847, his contemporaries Shyama Sastri and Muthuswami Dikshitar are together known as the Trinity of Carnatic music. Now, these three belong to the modern India. The third news is continuing with the same topic, that is Indian culture under GS Paper 1. An argument broke out between warkaris, that is devotees of Lord Vittal, and the police during a procession in Maharashtra's Pune district. The incident occurred when devotees were scrambling to gain entry into Sant Dhyaneshwar Maharaj Samadhi Mandir in Alandi town near Pune city during the annual Ashadhi Ekadashi pilgrimage to Pandharpur. Pandharpur Vari is an annual pilgrimage to Pandharpur, the seat of the Hindu god Vithoba in Maharashtra, in honor of the deity. The tradition is more than 700 years old. Let's know something about warkaris. Warkari, meaning the one who performs the vari, is a religious movement within the Bhakti spiritual tradition of Hinduism, geographically associated with the Indian state of Maharashtra and northern Karnataka. Warkaris worship Vitthal, also known as Vithoba, the presiding deity of Pandharpur, regarded as a form of Vishnu. Saints and gurus of the Bhakti movement associated with the Warkaris include Dhyaneshwar, Namdev, Chokhamela, Eknath, and Tukaram, all of whom are accorded the title of Sant. Fourth news, two-day National Conference of Tribal Writers held in Jammu and Kashmir. Now this news comes under the topic of salient features of Indian society, diversity of India, social empowerment of GS paper 1. The first ever National Conference of Tribal Writers was held in Jammu and Kashmir, with its participants setting up a forum to safeguard authentic tribal literature and encourage youngsters to showcase their unique culture through writings. Representatives from different tribes including Santhali, Gondi, Ho, Bhundari, Koya, Banjara, Kharia and Munda attended the conference. The participants said the meet provided a platform for Adivasi writers to foster cultural exchange and address the challenges they face in preserving their unique identities. Fifth news, Bargarh ethanol refinery will boost green growth. Now this comes under the topic of environmental conservation in GS paper 3 and can be asked as places in news and UPSC preliminary questions. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said the ethanol biorefinery plant being set up by the Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited in Bargarh district of Odisha would give momentum to green growth and sustainable development. The plant would provide employment opportunities to the youth. The plant would produce ethanol from straw, waste and spoiled rice. This plant would promote green fuel. Ethanol produced from this plant will be blended with the petrol. Sixth news, ash, rocks from Philippine volcano Mount Mayon forces officials to evacuate people. Now this news comes under the topic of important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity and can be also asked as places in news in UPSC preliminary exams. Mayon, about 330 kilometers southeast of the capital Manila of Philippines, is considered one of the most volatile of the country's 24 active volcanoes. Mayon, also known as the Mount Mayon, is an active stratovolcano in Philippines. A popular tourist spot, is renowned for its perfect cone because of its symmetric conical shape. Seventh news, governors cannot indefinitely hold back bills. Now this news comes under the topic of features of Indian Constitution, federalism under GS paper 2. Recently, issues have arisen in various states between chief ministers and governors with regard to the delayed passing of bills. This is a tricky situation for a parliamentary democracy, which is a basic feature of our constitution, where the people elect a government to enact laws which reflect their will. What is the governor's role? The legislature of a state comprises the governor and the legislative assembly and the legislative council if the state has two houses. The governor has little autonomy in his functioning with respect to council of ministers. The intention of the framers of the constitution was for the president or governor to act only on the advice of the council of ministers. Actual governance of the country or state is by the prime minister or the chief minister. There are certain instances where a governor can exercise his discretion independent of the council of ministers, like Article 163 clause 2 of the constitution, where governor's decision cannot be challenged. In Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab, the Supreme Court held that a president or a governor can exercise their discretion independent of their ministers only where the constitution expressly permits them to do so. Article 200 states that when the governor is presented with a bill, he can either give his assent or withhold it or return the bill with certain suggestions. The first proviso of the article states that after a bill is presented to him, the governor may as soon as possible, please note the word, return the bill if it is not a money bill with a message to reconsider the bill. The second proviso of the article gives the governor discretion to refer a bill to the president if he is of the opinion that the bill, if passed, would take away the powers of the High Court. The procedure to be followed when presidential assent for such a bill is required is set out in Article 201 of the Constitution. Now, governor's autonomy. In Purushothaman Namudri versus State of Kerala, while deciding whether a bill pending the governor's assent would lapse upon the dissolution of the House, the court considered the provisions of Article 200 and 201 to hold that it will not lapse. In Shamsher Singh, the court held, though not explicitly, that it is only with respect to the second proviso, that is reserving bills for the President's consideration, that the governor exercises discretion independent of the council. The court also highlighted the exceptional circumstances of the governor acting independent of the Council of Ministers. It held that D. Smith's statement on royal assent would hold good even in the context of Indian democracy for both presidents and governors. Refusal of the royal assent on the ground that the monarch strongly disapproved of a bill or that it was intensely controversial would nevertheless be unconstitutional. So we can say that the governor has no discretion to indefinitely withhold assent to a bill. If a bill is presented to him, it has to be returned with recommendation or given assent as soon as possible as mentioned in Article 200 Clause 1. Refusing to act on a bill is in violation of the Constitution, and a governor's action or inaction in this regard would be susceptible to judicial review. 8th news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the first National Training Conclave in New Delhi and highlighted the importance of capacity building, ending silos and enhancing service delivery. A statement said the PM had been a proponent of improving the governance process and policy implementation in the country through capacity building of civil service. As part of this, the National Program for Civil Services Capacity Building was launched to prepare a future-ready civil service with the right attitude, skills and knowledge. Now, this news comes under the topic of role of civil services in a democracy under GS paper 2. 9th news. The Union government plans to complete 3D digitization of all museums under its administrative control by 2023 end for better conservation of artifacts. Now, this news comes under the topic of e-governance in GS paper 2. The Culture Ministry has 10 museums within its ambit. Apart from these, the Archaeological Survey of India has site museums at 44 locations spread throughout the country. Besides aiding conservation, 3D digitization of the museum can offer visitors new ways to access and explore the collection. 3D models can be used in augmented reality and virtual reality learning experiences and facilitate 3D printing. The 3D digitization would be done using the Jatan Virtual Museum Builder software, which has been designed by Human Center's Design and Computing Group, Center for Development of Smart Computing, Pune. Jatan is a client-server application with features such as image cropping, watermarking, unique numbering and management of digital objects with multimedia representations. It can create 3D virtual galleries and provide public access through web, mobile or touch screen kiosks. 10th news. Private sector collaboration is the next great phase of Indo-U.S. defense ties. Atul Keshap, President of the US-India Business Council. Now, this news comes under the bilateral relations of India and USA. The India-USA Defense Acceleration Ecosystem, INDUS-X, is a new initiative to advance cutting-edge technology cooperation, which Mr. Keshap described as Wedding Mela. It is designed to complement existing government-to-government collaboration by promoting innovative partnerships between US and Indian companies, investors, startup accelerators, and academic research institutions. In January, US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval launched the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology (ICET), under which several co-development and co-production initiatives are under discussion, including jet engine cooperation. Apart from defense, the major focus areas under ICET are semiconductors, cyber and space. Thank you for watching. Keep visiting our website, Telegram, Instagram and Twitter.